presentation this evening. Absolutely fantastic to see you all here. If I could ask you, could you pop in the chat where you're actually from? Then we know who we're speaking to and what countries we've got in the group. We've got Hanash from Dubai and Cece from Ethiopia. We've got Mary from the USA. Hi Mary. Mary's always on these calls. I definitely remember your name, Mary. Germany, we've got Lübeck from Germany. Oh no, hi from Lübeck, Germany, from Yvonne. Fantastic. Anybody else? Anybody here from the UK? No. Okay. Fantastic. Somebody from the UK, and it's Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Prabesh from Nepal. Absolutely fantastic seeing so many people from around the world. And this is what this is all about. It's about opportunities for people and from all over the world. We're a global company. You know, we embrace that global community as well. So absolutely fantastic. Now, just before we start, so we know who we're actually speaking to, if you're an existing member and you've been on these meetings before, could you pop a 1 in the chat? And if you're a new member, completely new, the very first time, can you pop a 2 in the chat for us? That'd be fantastic. Great. So Hanash, yeah. Yvonne, you're seeing this for the very first time. Fantastic. You're in for a real treat, and I'm sure you're really going to enjoy this. Jacqueline, fantastic, Jacqueline, lovely to see you back. Anyone else? I can't actually see the Facebook one, so my apologies if there's people in the Facebook who are actually putting something on the Facebook. So what's this evening all about? Well, this evening I feel very privileged to be part of this company and to be part of this evening where we're going to share with you what exactly is Study, Invest and Prosper, and explain to you what is the new economic evolution of the world. Before I do that, and I pass you on to the first presenter, I'm just going to give you a little bit of info who I am. My name's Gail Potkin. I'm a representative of the local UK Leadership Council, along with Mo, Alina. I'm a crypto enthusiast. I love my crypto. I love the blockchain, the ideology of the blockchain, which is ever more important as things start to change around the world. I'm a speaker, private investor, and an entrepreneur in my own right. And don't shoot me, but I have got 40 years financial services background. Okay, so yes, I was that person who sat in front of you at home helping you plan your finances some years ago. So that is my background. I'm also a qualified clinical hypnotherapist as well. So again, I promise not to hypnotize you all, but that is my background, as well as a number of other things that I've done throughout my lifetime. And I like to think myself as an educator to help people to become educated and to learn, which will help them develop. If we could just move the next slide. So before I hand you over to Mo, and I'll give a brief introduction to Mo because Mo's going to tell you a little bit about himself, I want to go through the compliance and the risk disclaimer so that everybody clearly understands, and it's really important that you listen to this and you understand it. So I'm just going to tell you what an EIP is. So we may refer in this presentation to an EIP, and that's what we call an educational information product. MLCI, which you're going to hear about later on in the presentation, is multi-level crowd investing. And CRU, what is CRU? That is our crypto unit, and it's an internal point for tokens, and I like to call it, and everybody else does, our digital stock, and that's what we class that as. So if you hear us talking about EIP, MLCI or CREW, those are what we're talking about. Now, it's really important that you understand that we do not sell, and we don't have a license to sell shares or tokens. And every country has its own rules for the sale of financial products, and we comply with the laws of the country. So most countries allow the sale of information products without a special license, and the information products that we're sharing with you today are the educational information products from the Academy of a Private Investor. We also offer an opportunity for people to participate in a wealth building training, which provides the fundamental principles on which wealth is created and maintained. Just to stipulate, we do not provide financial or investment consultations, and we'd ask that everybody does their own due diligence or request confirmation from a licensed accountant, a financial advisor in your area for any compliance with the requirements in your own state or country. So that being said, and that now completed, I want to just give you an idea of who you'll be speaking to today. First of all, the first speaker is going to be Mo, and I'll introduce Mo in a second. Mo is a representative of the UK Local Council. He is a new consumer community partner in the programme, and he's a consultant. He's a master profi graduate. He's an international speaker and private investor, entrepreneur, data analysis background, and he's worked in the UK public sector. And after another part of the presentation, you're going to hear Alina, and Helena's going to be talking to us today as well about the training. So after this presentation, you're more than welcome to stop for our training that we offer people. It's free training, you know, it's very, very valuable, and I suggest that people do stop on and listen to that training. And I think Mo's going to help Alina with that as well. So Alina is representative of the Leadership Council. She is a new consumer community partner, and she is a top manager in the company. She's also a certified master profi graduate, and she's a sales and business development specialist, which she'll speak to you a little bit about as she's introduced. And she's also an international speaker, private investor, and entrepreneur. Okay, as I said, my name's Gail Popkin, and I am also a partner and a vice president within the new consumer community. Okay, so I'm going to leave you in the very, very capable hands of Mo in a second, just to run over what the meeting's all about. The first part of the meeting, we're going to talk about the investment thinking and the academy. You're going to learn about what is the Academy of a Private Investor and the role of financial literacy. You're then going to hear about the VIP club, which I'll speak to you about, and also you're going to learn about multi-level crowd investing, which is a really exciting, unique concept. And then you're going to hear about what is new, what is the new economic evolution of the world, and the future plans of the company. The second part of the meeting, like I said, will be some basic financial education, which we hold tonight, which is the 8 rules. And on Thursday, we do a different type of presentation for you as well. So that being said, I really want to introduce somebody who puts so much energy and passion into what he's going to be doing for you tonight. Mo is, in his own right, has a lot of experience. He is a really, really good speaker. He is the author of a book called Powered by the Universe. So he's a believer in the universe and what the universe has to offer us. He's also an astrophysics graduate, which again is really, really exciting. So before we go any further, I'd like to hand over to Mo and enjoy what you're about to see with Mo, and I'll speak to you in a bit. Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much, Gail. Thank you so much. Guys, if you are excited to be here tonight, please put a 3 in the chat right now. Put a 3 in the chat. And please say thank you to Gail as well. So sticking 8 in the chat for thank yous to Gail as well. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you, Prabesh. Hello. Yeah, wow. So we've got loads of people from everywhere. That's amazing. That's really cool. Thank you. If there's anyone on Facebook, we're not really monitoring Facebook, but yeah, I hope that you're all watching this as well. So yeah, I probably don't need to say too much about myself. I mean, so my name is Mo. I'm representative of the UK Local Leadership Council, as Gail said. And yeah, I mean, all I want to say, just to expand, is I had a very, very normal, background. You know, I went to university. I had a very normal career. I always worked in the public sector in the UK. So I started off in local government, but then I worked for an arm's length body for about 4 years. Then I wound up working in the civil service. Then I went a little bit outside of government, but still within education. I was always in education. And then I went back to local government again. So, you know, I've had a very normal kind of career. At the height of my career, I was a consultant. So could you imagine being a data analyst consultant in a local government setting? That's basically, you know, I was earning quite a lot of money actually in a job that really it wouldn't have stopped, right? It wouldn't have stopped, but something had me kind of want to leave. Actually, around about then was when I actually discovered this company, because by this point I realized that I was manifesting certain things in my life, including this job. And this particular job was a 3 timesing of my salary and a 10 timesing of my spare time, for reasons I won't go into right now, but it was. And yeah, and like, you know, I felt a calling to kind of like just change my life towards the end of that year. So, you know, I quit that job. You know, I don't know if I'd still be in it right now, but certainly, you know, it was me that left. I chose to leave and pursue other things, including, you know, one of the things was writing a book about the law of attraction. So, so that's my book. And yeah, Elena, if we can go to the next slide, please. So that's a little bit about myself. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Academy of the Private Investor now. Okay. So first of all, our Academy has been founded in 2011, and it's actually a global online portal with 9 years of videos and basically investment wisdom from our CEO. Our CEO in the center of this picture with his thumbs up in the suit is Andre Hoverato. Yeah, and we owe, there are so many people in this. Do you know what? Many of you have been here before. Many of you are already in the company. So do you want to put a whole bunch of ones in the chat just to express your gratitude to Andre for this company and what he's creating here? Okay. And I'm joining in as well. I mean, like, this company is, we're well done for being here if you're new. Oh, Richard's here. Hello, Richard. Good to see you again. Yeah, and it's just, this company is just, is really changing so many people's lives. Already 1.3 million people's lives, almost 1.4 million people's lives from over 175 countries. And you know, this company, what we're providing is we're providing an investment education. And when you have certain knowledge, the knowledge always stays with you. Okay, so that's the first thing that we're doing. But also, you know, well, Elena's going to tell you about that later. Elena and Gail actually later about what else is on offer. So we have teachers that teach investment expertise that have been taught by Andre himself, and now we're all teaming up with him. So teachers with up to 23 years of experience in the investment and finance fields. We offer practical studies in the areas of finance, investment and personal growth. and real case studies, group lessons, and individual coaching and mentoring sessions. So next slide, please, Elena. I'm going to tell you about this presentation. Is split into 3 kinds of parts, and I'm going to tell you about the investment thinking part. So the first part is, does anyone know Robert Kiyosaki? Put an RK in the chat if you know who Robert Kiyosaki is, if you've read his book Cash Flow, or if you've seen him on YouTube. Sorry, his book, not Cash Flow, but he wrote a book called Cash Flow as well as the game. But obviously, Rich Dad Poor Dad is his most famous book. This is his latest book, Fake, about fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. And you'd be surprised how much stuff in the mainstream is actually really, really fake. Just everything, well, pretty much everything, right? Yeah, so I've actually been very fortunate to have met Robert Kiyosaki a few times last year. Yeah, and it's amazing when so I've met Robert and Kim, his wife. I've been at dinners with them, like exclusive dinners with them. It's been really amazing. But he basically taught this particular model in Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay, so this is called the cash flow quadrant. So if you look on the top left, we'll start in the top left. Basically, the left-hand side is where most people, like 90% of people, are in life. 90% of people in life either have a job or they're entrepreneurs and they're working for themselves. Now, when you have a job, in fact, actually put an E if you have a job, if you're an employee of someone, and put an S in the chat if you are self-employed, and I don't know, maybe you're a consultant like I was, or maybe you just have your own business. You have, or you think you have your own business. So put an E or an S in the chat. Elena is all quadrants. Okay. Yvonne is both quadrants. That's interesting. Okay. So if you're an employee, you get a job, you're working a job, you're paying a certain amount of taxes, and then at some point you probably get really wound up by your colleagues and you think, oh, I could do all their jobs better. I'd be better off on my own. And then you decide you're going to go it alone. You become an entrepreneur, you become self-employed, and you go and work for yourself. Except now, not only are you doing the thing that you were doing, but you're also now doing all the admin, and you're doing all the HR, and you're doing all the payroll, and you're doing far, far, far more than you realized that you were doing. Plus, you're paying more tax because now you're paying the business rate as well as paying yourself a salary. And you have less freedom because as an entrepreneur, when you're self-employed, actually, you know what? You can't take a holiday, right? Because if you take a holiday, then the thing doesn't work for you while you're away. So then, and this is where the top 10% are. They're actually on the right-hand side. They go into business. So rather than the business owning them as the self-employed in the bottom left as the entrepreneur, they're actually self-employed. They're actually own the business. Sorry, they have a business that actually operates without them. So rather than being owned by the business, they own the business. So that's what the difference between the bottom left and the top right. So the businessman is someone who owns a system and actually employs people, has people working for them. And actually, if you ever wanted to know why people don't, why a lot of the top businesses don't pay taxes, it's actually because they create so many jobs, therefore they create so much tax revenue, and so therefore the tax revenue offices, they give them tax breaks because they wouldn't be receiving that tax revenue otherwise, right? So they get tax breaks. But then the other thing that happens when you are in business is you can, if you keep the money within the business, if you make excess in terms of revenues and profits and whatnot, you can keep it in the business by investing that into other asset producing business streams. And we'll talk a little bit more about the language of, you know, assets and liabilities and things later, but again, popularized by Robert Kiyosaki, the difference between assets and liabilities. In short, in fact, actually, stick around for the training at the end, and it's a free training. We're going to introduce to you the 8 rules of the private investor, and we're going to talk a little bit about assets and liabilities and things like that. So we'll tell you more about that. But anyway, the point is, when you've got stuff that you are investing and it's producing more and more money and producing more and more revenue for the business, and then you basically cycle around the right-hand side of this chart. So yeah, 90% of the money in the world is owned by the top 10% of the people who are on that side of the cash flow quadrant. Okay, so next slide, please, Lena. Thank you very much. So, guys, right, okay, so, right, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you think you're very financially literate, and 1 being you feel like you don't know the first thing about financial literacy, put a rating for where you are, okay? And here's a clue: your current result probably probably tells you about where you are. And I'd love to say that I was like, you know, a 7. Actually, I probably am about a 7, to be honest. I'd say Elena's being quite modest there. I think she's actually very financially literate, actually. Wow. Okay. So lots of different people giving different answers. Yeah, we have to learn every day, don't we? Right. So, okay, what does this chart show? So basically, you can see, in short, data gathered from Standard & Poor's rating service. Standard & Poor's is one of the leading rating services in the world. But you can see charted, basically, the blue countries, the darker the blue, the more financially literate the population is. And the lighter, well, the darker the orange, the less financially literate the population is, okay? So you can tell that basically, if you look at South America and you look at Africa and Russia and China, and basically you can see just where the money isn't, right? Whereas actually, if you look at where the blues are, you can see where the money is in the world. And I find this map really quite fascinating, actually, because it really does tell this story. So here's the thing. Do you think that the world in general has a problem with financial literacy? Because if you consider who are the most affluent nations and who are the least affluent nations, right? Do you think that there is a problem in the world? Put a P in the chat if you think there's a problem. Put an N in the chat if you think it's all fine. So put a P in the chat if you agree that actually there's an imbalance. There's an imbalance of financial literacy in the thing. So guys, come on, should be some P's, more P's. Should be more P's. Yeah, people do not need. Yeah, yeah, exactly. They don't need inflation. What they need is what? I don't even know what that says, Elena. Sorry. So basically, guys, there is a problem in the world. Okay, there's a reason why most people in the world are poor. Okay, and that is basically to do with the fact that they don't know what to do with money. They don't know how to grow money. Most people, if I were to ask you when you're going to start, you'd probably think, well, when I have money, that's when I will start, you know, having good things. But actually, that's the wrong time to start. The right time to start your investment strategies is exactly where you are right now, no matter how little money you have, right? And education is the key, Mary, exactly. Okay, next slide, please, Elena. So look, there is a problem. And guess what we have? We've got a solution, okay? So guys, put an 8 in the chat if you're looking forward to understanding what the solution is to financial education and the big problem that it is in the world. Michelle, how are you? Good to see you as well. Okay, so we have the solution. Basically, we have training courses that are aimed at self-development, goal setting, and planning, improving financial literacy, formation of investment thinking, and learning different businesses, building methods and strategies, right? We offer personal growth, investment courses, and business education. No, it's okay, we can go to the next slide, that's fine. Thank you. We have so many different stories of success within this company. And we've got, in fact, actually, you can skip to the next slide as well, because I believe I know what the next slide is. Yep, exactly. So many stories of success, right? And I'm just going to take the opportunity now to read you one of them. So I'm just going to pick out at random. We're going to go with Olabale Funmilayo, okay, who was originally born in Calabar Cross River State in South Nigeria. Okay, so he presently resides in Osogbo, Osun State in Southwest Nigeria. He has a tertiary professional education in mechanical engineering and also a master's degree in business administration. He works with the Osun State government as a deputy director in engineering services and also in a tertiary health services provider institution. Sometime in June 2015, due to the credit crunch, the economic crunch, the state government cut his salary by 50%. This affected his income, obviously, by 50% in the midst of growing expenses. So he came across this academy in February 2018, 3 years later, and he began educating himself in financial education and investment literacy through various courses offered by our academy. And this has assisted him a great deal to create multiple income streams, to become an investor, a coach, an entrepreneur, and an international speaker in the space of only 2 years, right? So, and he's also reaching his own financial freedom as a result of his education. So guys, put an E in the chat if you agree that education is the most important thing, okay? Put an E in the chat now. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, education is, you know, and especially like, you know, when you think about it, they didn't teach you about education at school. They didn't teach you, they didn't teach you about financial education at school. They didn't teach you about how taxes work. They didn't teach you anything other than, you know, how to get a job, right? And pay your taxes and be in that top left quadrant, okay? So look, I think this is my part. Can we go to the next slide, please, Lena? And the next slide is, yeah, so I'm going to pass on now to the person that I met in 2017, who basically, because I wound up coming into this company, you know, I don't know, my life is like, I have a very different outlook on life right now than most anyone else, right? So yeah, I'm very, very grateful to Elena, and Elena, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Gail. And round of applause for amazing presentation, Mo. Well done. Are you super excited to know actually, you know, how you can solve your problems financially, how you can, you know, live your life, how you can, you know, be more financially educated, how you can live more financially free and financially independent? Because we just showed and just more read one story of real life example. And my topic will be obviously show you how you can be, you know, part of us, how you can explore your education. I'm super excited. And I want to share a little my story actually, and I'm sorry, I won't be able to see the chats. But I will share my story, like how this company changed my life, not just life, but my personal story, my personal growth. because who knows me, and I know Mo knows me, since, and I also been struggling financially really badly as a single mother. And since I came here, obviously I was an employee, so I was trading my time for the work, and I was doing my profession, my hairdressing. I'm professional hairdresser for 12 years, but I never had enough money. I never had enough time to go to see my family members back to Latvia. I never have a time enough to see my daughter, because I always been at work, so I never had my own time. And when I become a mother, and when I couldn't work full time, I was struggling so much. And I realized I have to change something. And that's why I was putting in the chat, I'm learning constantly every single day, because I truly believe if we stop learning, we stop living. And it's so true. And I just can't imagine if I would be still as a hairdresser, if I would not make this decision back to 2017, I don't know where I would be today. Even now, today is lockdown, many people losing their jobs, many people, living in a fear. They don't know what's going to happen next. I know where I'm going. I know I will solve my life. I will travel. I will live my life fulfill. And I want to show all of you as well. Of course, my journey in this company, it wasn't be easy. I have tears. I was breaking down. Even now, being home all the time with my daughter is never enough time. But because I have my goal, my desire, I want to change my life. And I'm here to show you how also you can be part of it, how you can, leave the legacy, for your family members, for the world, for yourself, how you can explode this world. And obviously now you heard about all these problems, and you see that we have also Academy private investors. So you see that we have real life examples, even myself and Mo and Gail. So how you can be part of it. And let me show you. So if you want to be also successful, if you want to be, in other side where it's 10% who are businessmen, who are investors, if you want to be, successful, we have opportunity for you, and you can become VIP member. This is really, really exclusive product for our company. We launched just recently, 4th of May. So this is basically elite club for people who wants not just read all the materials what we have in our back office, but also put in a practice. And it's so true. Like when I was using all the materials, what I will show you, it's completely different result. Also, VIP Club offers us amazing discounts, and Gail actually end of the presentation will show what the benefits VIP Club can give it to you. And as well, we have this crypto unit program, which I'm briefly gonna explain to you. So all people who are VIP members, we also can stake our unblocked VIP units, which again, I will explain to you. So as well, we are offering additional income streams. Usually at work, when I used to work as a hairdresser, I would only receive one income stream. Here, to being part of VIP, you can receive different additional income stream. Who like this idea? Just put the 888. And for me, VIP sounds really juicy because since 2017, when I've been fully involved in this company, I've been attending different events like Tony Robbins, MMI, so different events. Even if I fly with different airlines, they're offering VIP. So it makes sense, right? So if you pay VIP, you always receive extra. And actually there is one really true example. Who knows Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett company? We know this company generating a year millions and millions, and people can be part of this A-class share if they pay $220,000 to be in this VIP. In our company, we are not asking people this huge of money. You can only become as a VIP member only for $10, and obviously price is changing. So what we are offering the courses we divided different courses in different 5 packages. So you can see we have EAP Beginner, EAP Basic, EAP, and so on and on. And I see in a chat we have kind of many people, and I'm really surprised. All of you, you're really educated in financially. It's a surprise, right? And well done, all of you. But as I was saying, it's always good to learn new skills. Even I was listening once Gail's presentation, and Gail as well, she'd been working in a financial sector, and she never learned these education materials, what we see here in our company. Also, put in a plus who went in a university, and ask, well, maybe put in a chat if you're brave enough, how much you pay a year or for all course in university. What was your amount of money, how much you pay for university? That would be amazing. And I've been talking to many people, and many people who was passing our EAPs, all the courses, what we are offering, they never even they have been receiving from their courses in a university. So we are giving this education how you can turn $1 into 1 million. Foundation of investing, which are 8 rules of private investor. Me and Mo also going to give you free training today, a brief explanation what is 8 rules of private investor. And what I can say to you, if you're going to read these rules and if you're going to apply these rules every day, every month, every year, I can guarantee you, definitely, because education is guaranteed, I can guarantee you, you will be financially successful. Because these rules are one of the key, one of the golden rules which you need to go through and apply. Not just read, but apply. Also, we teach in different packages as well, 5 levels of investors. This was for me really surprisingly a new discovery. Like all of us, actually, we are investors, even if people don't invest. So Anne will show you what the packages we are offering. Have a look. What do you think? So I didn't see the chat, but usually universities cost 30,000 or 9,000 a year, right? And I know many people who never completed the university, or they completed, but they never actually went in their original workplace. Here in this company, we are offering with smaller amount of money these education courses. If you truly applying them, you will be financially free. And what else we are offering? For every single package what we are giving to you, you also receiving the bonuses. Imagine when you go to university, the university give you also the bonuses. That would be amazing, right? And if you are VIP member, you always, again, into these packages gonna receive the discount. So you can see in a yellow color, these are discounted packages for all VIP members. If you are not VIP member, obviously you're paying higher. So probably you are wondering, what are these bonuses are? What is CRU? Let me show you. So the CRU program, the project is innovative training program that the door for anyone to learn and become a co-owner of CRU or crypto unit global investment portfolio. So here in this crypto unit program, actually you can see how our CEO put in the practice all his knowledge, what he'd been gaining for 20 years. And our CEO, as Mo was saying, he created Academy Private Investor. He is professional investor. And if you are a professional investor, you don't lose the money. You most likely win the money because you are creating, and as he is creating, global portfolio. So CRU program officially been launched last year, 30th of March. I still remember that day. Our back office was going crazy. So during this period, we passed 2 phases, really successful. This year, we already entrance in Ethereum blockchain platform, but really soon, I'm not going to give you exact time because we have another company who is creating our own blockchain, because we are planning to go on outside market, but really soon, this year, we're gonna go to our blockchain platform, which is gonna be big and massive achievement for our company. So our CRU program will be officially put, you know, externally. Do not miss it out because when we're gonna be on the blockchain, obviously into your ERPs, these bonuses is not gonna be added anymore. So use this time, really educate yourself, get your ERPs, and as a bonus you will receive a crypto unit program. So what is crypto unit program? What is underneath? So I saw that, again, all of you are kind of in a level 8 of investment education. But let me ask you the question, if you do your investment, if you invest in different market segments, how many investment instruments you have or you created yourself? Just put in a plus. And more, maybe you can tell me.
Okay, so we've got a 3 from Mary, we've got a 3 from Gail.
Okay.
We don't have anyone interacting on the, we have a few interactions on the Facebook, but no one's answered that particular question. But 3, let's say 3. Oh, someone's got 15. Magda's got 15.
I would be interested to really see where you are, you know, where you are putting all your, you know, your investments, how you're diversifying. But our portfolio is created in such a way that it's diversified. So we are not only focusing on only one investment sector, we are focusing on many, many different ones. Because as all of you know, if you know, want to take this path and you want to become a professional investor, you never ever put eggs in a one basket, right? So you always do the diversification, because we know if something goes down, there's always something going to go up from the investment world. So it's all about diversification in different regions and different countries. And obviously you can see here in the next slide, where is our diversification been going. So we are really ethically, in my personal opinion, we are through the CryptoNet program, joining the companies which are better for our humanity. We know that many technologies which is out there are actually destroying our planet. So our CEO is all about, you know, the creating or supporting the technologies or projects which are better for our environment. Even if we're gonna have loads of money, but if it's our Earth is, you know, not as kind of environmentally friendly, then what is the point to have a lot of money? So Andrej Havrato, he is supporting through the CryptoNet program, innovative buzzer technology. This is really unique technology. And I also, all of you welcome to watch brief videos and understand what it's all about. Also, we are part of a movie industry as well, and really soon, end of this year, we will be able to see the movie as well. So we are entering in Chinese and Indian market. Amazing also, and if you've been reading Robert Kiyosaki books or his latest videos, a lot of investors also as well talk about the gold. The gold is the best investment what you can create it. So also we created 5 different gold mining companies. So we're not just only holding the physical gold, but actually real mine companies. And I just can name it: diamond factories. We have UGPay. And I just can go on and on and on. And our goal is to create this portfolio in next 4 to 8 years for more than 100 trillion. And we today created extremely great result. Our portfolio worth is more than 404 million. And you, as an everyday person, have this opportunity to be part of it. So again, so what Crypto Unit program provides, so you, as a normal person, as an ordinary person, you can become all these high leading companies as a co-owner. So imagine if you're from America or from Africa or from Europe, it doesn't matter where are you today, you can be part of these companies. Of course, if you're becoming as well our member, every single month you start receiving as well as our member, you're receiving also monthly loyalty program bonuses, also opportunity to receive profit bonuses. At the moment, these are not only we pay twice, I believe, yeah. So profit bonuses are the generated, well, liquid assets, what our, portfolio is, giving to us. At the moment is not as huge, but this is our focus in near future. We are really transparent. We are showing the people where the company, is going, what the results we have, and every single month we have closed meeting webinars where VIP members can be part of it. And this is actually unique. If you are going to hedge funds, or even myself, I invested in high risk investment portfolio. I cannot see where this company, behalf of me investing, this is what I love about our company. Even for $50 or $10,000, you have this opportunity to see actually where the company is growing. Really transparent. And of course, every single month we are increasing our CRU value growth. And of course, circulation of CRU global merchandising. So what do you need to do? If you are a new person, and I will guide you through, so you are first registering into Academy Private Investor. Now everything goes through to a referral link. Gail will briefly explain you more what it's all about. So if you really love it, you're really excited to be part of our community, for our elite club, our VIP club, just go back to the person and, ask, I want to learn, I want to be part of it, I want to change, my life, I want to be part of something big, I want to leave the legacy, because the companies what we are supporting are definitely leaving the legacies. So you registering for free, you become a member of VIP club. As I said, as a partner, it costs only $10, and benefits are definitely extraordinary. Of course, based on your knowledge, based on your understanding, choose the right EAP. So if you feel you want to go for 1,000, go for 1,000, choose the package, go in the back office, start reading all the materials, and put in a real life. If you don't feel yet comfortable, take even little package for $50. Just start reading 8 Rules of Private Investor, and you see actually what this company offering, because you start gaining the knowledge. And of course, start taking the actions. Actions are really important. Don't think, just don't wait, just make actions. And this definitely gonna give you the greatest results. Hopefully you're excited. All of you want to be part of it. And I will now give the floor, amazing Gail Potkin. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your surname incorrect. I have still a Latvian accent. But I met Gail last year. Incredible story. Gail is actually financial background, which was for me really surprising, and she shared a lot of different stories. Gail, I'm really proud of you. I love what you do for our company. Gail is also helping massively to our partners globally, and I can see your passion, what the work you put in our company. So Gail, now floor is yours. Gail? Where is Gail?
Gail, you need to unmute.
Oh.
And do your camera as well. Oh gosh, have we lost Gail?
Okay. Okay, maybe something happened.
That's okay. Shall I take over then?
Yeah, I will take it. It's okay.
Okay.
Great. Since something maybe happened to Gail, I will keep going. And if Gail come back, then she can take over. So now, so what I will tell my story. So when I was start learning in our academy, all the 8 rules of private investor, and as I said earlier, I'm still keep learning. Through this process, I also can earn the money. Would you like the idea, not just learn, but also earn money? Who like this idea? And especially this time of the period, when maybe some of you lost your job, or maybe some of you want to earn, you know, extra when you want to go on holidays when all the borders are open, or earn money for your dream car, or earn money, you know, for the clothes. Who wants to have this opportunity? Just put in a +888. Would be good if you are really active. So I can see, oops. Thank you, amazing. Yeah, because what company created, so since company officially started working 2014, actually, so the company created amazing business concept which called multi-level crowd investing, and we are pioneers, sorry for my pronunciation, of this next amazing business concept. So we combine 2 amazing business concepts, which is from the network marketing companies. As all of you know, the network marketing business concept been out there for more than 70 years, and it's been successful. In this industry, many millionaires and many billionaires being created. And on the other side, we are using the concept of crowd investing, which also combine with investment business. So you're not just only earning the money from the business, like let's say network marketing companies or any traditional marketings do, but you also applying all the education into the practice, and you can create other amazing passive income streams or your assets. So multi-level businesses, you know, giving you or allowing you to earn money while you are home. And this was the big game changer for me. And now when I need to look back to 3 years ago, when I have to wake up every morning, go to the salon, not to being with my daughter, not to picking up for the school because I have this limitation. I was, you know, attached to the work. And since now, when 3 years I've been involving in a business, I can work from anywhere. I can pick up my daughter anytime from the school. I can be home with her. This is give me more freedom, and plus I can earn money. Who like the idea? And even now in these times, when I go in the internet, in different social media, many people are start looking the job opportunities in online or network marketing companies, because unfortunately, you know, small businesses or large businesses being closed down, and especially here in London, I feel really sad. People are home. Even lots of businesses are getting into the bankruptcy. So the business owners can't anymore provide these jobs to the people. Also robotization coming. So online business is definitely the key point. I do highly recommend to start learning. For me, it was quite hard to start learn, talk to the people through the network, looking for my clients, but it's the best rewarding. So this is the multi-level business side. And investment side. So here we also creating people who are also can become investment consultants. So you can do many different trainings, as I showed you earlier in our packages. You can start through our company, communicate with our partners. We always sharing different you know, investment opportunities, because we are same-minded people who understand we can't rely only on one tool. So you can quickly increase your capital. You start learning how to manage your assets, and opportunity to increase your monthly income, even up to 1 million, obviously for some of you, maybe it sounds a lot of money, but trust me, whatever we are providing, if you put lots of work in here, you can earn this money. And of course, this business is really prestige. So what is our achievement? So as I was mentioning earlier, so we are already successfully running since 2014, and I'm really happy. I actually joined this company back to 2014. I saw how this company grow. I saw how many people become successful, how they changing their lives. And it's incredible. So we have partners all around the world. Usually when we do the presentations or webinars from the cooperative side, it's been translated in different languages. So if you speak in, I don't know, Hindi or Latvian or any language, you always can have, you know, more information. So we have more than 71 presidents in our company, and we achieved more than 1 million registration in our 5 years. Incredible results. Obviously, after this year, well, end of this year, we want to achieve more than 10 million people who are part of this company. And another slide, these people as well who are part of a presidential council, who've been as well only workers, or they lost their money, or you know, they also been lost in a life, and here into this company they change their own story. Mo, do you have written information? I haven't been prepared for this slide. Do you have written information for one of our success stories where you can read?
Yes, so why don't I read about, let's read about Neil. So everyone loves Neil, right? Put an N in the chat if you know who Neil Morrison is. There should be some N's. I think there should be some N's. Yeah, Neil is awesome. I really like, you know, I had the, I think Eleanor, you know Neil quite well, but I met him once. And I'm quite grateful that I managed to see him occasionally. Now, where is it? I found him. He was here. Ah. Okay. Well, do you know what? Come on, Neil. Where are you? Yeah, here we go. Right. Okay. So Neil lives in Auckland, New Zealand, but originally he's from Wellington, New Zealand, where he grew up, got married, and had several businesses within the construction and transport industries. But never being happy with the financial returns, he continued looking for other opportunities that could provide the types of returns and lifestyle for himself and his family he always dreamed of. He was introduced to the Academy of the Private Investor in March 2017, and after searching for over 20 years and failing many times, he has now built a substantial portfolio and has helped many people begin their journey to financial freedom, and now he lives and their lives by their own design. Neil has risen to the top rank as president and loves traveling the world, sharing this awesome opportunity wherever he goes. His financial success is attributed to the Academy of the Private Investor Education, and now he wants to dedicate his life to helping others and building the global community of the new economic evolution of the world.
Incredible story, and of course Neil as well have really sad story, but because determination, because wanting to help others and help himself and his family, he made his story of success, and now he is sharing this opportunity literally every single day. Because when I was talking to Neil, he was saying for him is most importantly leave the legacy. Imagine here in this company, you are not only today making something for your for your needs, but you are passing something for your next generations to come. And Neil also have a family, daughters, so he is also something providing for their future. And it's extremely and incredibly well and great to know all these people. Anyone can do it. Anyone can be part of, anyone can, change their story if you really making decision in your life. So what is the advantages of multi-level crowd investing? So as I mentioned, you can be your own boss. You're not anymore relying on your boss who is telling you what time you need to go to work, what time you need to come back. You are your own boss. Of course, there are as well different challenges which I was facing to doing the business, because when I was start doing the business in the company, I have to start managing my own time. When you have all this time on earth, you need to learn how to manage your time. But definitely incredible advantage to be your own boss, and you can work from anywhere, wherever you want. I'm planning with my daughter to go to Spain, so I can work from the Spain and travel. So you can start your international business. I created in 3 years time, I created international business myself. I have many partners from all around the world, from America, from India, from New Zealand, from Europe, Latin America. I have different, and being only using, social media, and this is incredibly well what you can do. You can connect with different people, unlimited earning potentials. So literally in this company, we do not have the limits. If you're going to put work in, if you're really going to learn every day, if you're truly going to, make this happen, you will have unlimited earning potential. And Mo knows, and I've been sharing my story with them all, and I done extremely well, and you can do as well. Multiple income streams, and of course we have unique business model. We done what no one else done before, and it's going really extremely well. And massive leverage across entire network. And by the way, we have also every Thursday a specific training for the business and how you can start, what the steps you need to take, and you can definitely roll in and try it out. So again, how to become a part of our project? You do, as I mentioned, register. You verify your profile. Nowadays, if you're registering in any legit company today, you must do KYC. You need to verify your identity. This is really important process. Of course, you are taking your participation and implement. So as I was mentioning earlier, all the ERPs, all the business opportunities you need to implement, not just read it, but actually start using it in practice. And the results will be extremely well. We have Gail back. Gail? Maybe something happened to her internet.
No, I'm back. I sincerely apologize to everybody.
Do you want to take it over?
You carry on, Alina.
Okay, I want to give you your word as well. So
okay,
there's some parts to do it.
Okay, so I'll carry on then. And I do apologize, I've not got a clue. I got a black screen and it just could not do anything. I couldn't speak to anybody or anything, but here I am again. So once, like Alina said, once you become a member of the VIP club and you're a participant in the Academy of a Private Investor, you're going to receive some gifts, some presents. We are a company and we have a CEO who loves giving gifts. He gets a lot of pleasure. He rewards us very well, and he likes to encourage and help people in their journey. So when you sign up and you verify your account, like Alina quite rightly said, you need to do your KYC, which is know your customer, know your client. You need to submit that it's usually pretty quick that it gets accepted. Once that happens and you enter at the $10 for the VIP club, you then are gifted these 350 valuable CRU points. Okay, and just to give you a little bit of background on that, and obviously I missed, so Alina may have gone over this, the potential for this for the future is absolutely huge. Okay, remember Amazon, remember Microsoft, remember Berkshire Hathaway, they all started off somewhere. You know, you're talking of thousands of dollars for one share in these companies. Okay, it doesn't happen overnight, it's a process and it's a progression. So you can imagine, you know, this could be your pension for the future depending on your age, you know, and as you participate into the education and purchase the education, you're going to be gifted even more of these valuable CRU points. So I can't emphasize enough for people that you need to act now, because this is not forever where you'll be able to purchase them at such a or be gifted them at such a low value as they are now, because what they're going to go to is going to be a lot more value to you in the future. Okay, and in the future, once this it does go on to the global exchanges, that's when you can only buy them from the exchanges, and whatever the going price is, whether it be $1, $10, $100, that is what you're going to have to pay for them. So you can imagine how valuable these are. On top of that, every Tuesday you're given some financial literacy training, you know, and I did some last week, did some training. I don't know whether you were on last week, and I asked people to do a little bit of homework, you know, and hopefully when we come to that part of it, it'd be interesting to see how many people actually have done a bit of that homework. Okay, and then every Thursday, then there's going to be some multi-level crowd investing business training. Very, very powerful training. When you combine multi-level crowd investing with MLM, wow. And we are the first company to actually do multi-level crowd investing. Okay, so you're going to learn such a lot on Thursday as well. Okay, thank you. Next slide. On top of that, okay, for those of you who may be new, and for those of you who are already members, absolutely fantastic. Again, like I said, our CEO and our Presidential Council love giving. Okay, and again, in May we had a promotion on. We've got another promotion on, and it's called Golden Friday. Okay, and you can receive discounts on your education packages that you can participate in. So make sure if you're a new member, that you've signed up, you've got back to the person who shared this with you, you've had your account verified, because you'll need to get your account verified for Friday. And again, if you put the correct information in, it's a very, very quick process, and you're ready to purchase on Friday, because it's for 24 hours only. Okay, and there's going to be massive discounts on the packages. Okay, 20%, 25%, 30%, absolutely fantastic. So if we could just go on. So what is our mission? So the new economic evolution of the world, you know, don't be scared, it's not a cult. it's a community. It's a new way of doing things. You know, I like to think of it, you know, with everything that's going on in the world at the moment, you know, we have to take stock. And Andre is very forward thinking. He could see that things were going wrong, not only in the financial world, but in the world as well. And a lot of people would probably have felt the same. So let's look at doing something totally different. You know, let's look at distributing the wealth, because at the moment the wealth is not quite evenly distributed, and even more so in certain countries, India, Africa, you know, some of the American places in America, where, you know, South America and South Africa and places like that, where, you know, there's a lot of wealth, but there's also more poverty, you know, and the idea of that global distribution of wealth in itself is fantastic. You know, we're looking at doing things in a eco-friendly way. We're preserving the world that we live in, okay, and we're offering something. You know, the mission is to give that security and protection, and more importantly, this helping others, okay. You know, I was having a conversation today. I did a bit of a live video on this about helping others. You know, I ask people and I say to them, look, take stock, especially with what's happened in the world at the moment, right? Are you somebody who it's all about you, okay? Or are you somebody that wants to help others? Because those are the type of people that, you know, will benefit, and they're going to benefit in the long term, but because by helping others, you help yourself, and it becomes, it just happens, you know. And Mo will, if Mo ever gets the chance, I'm sure we'd all love to hear about the law of attraction and things like that, because that's very powerful, you know. And when you help other people and you bring some value to other people, then things magically happen, okay. And on top of that, the more important thing is that we have got some prosperity, and we have got happiness, not only in ourselves and how we are and developing ourselves, but for the world in general as well, you know. So we can all live in this this world that we're creating, and the new economic evolution of the world is working towards that. And it's ensuring that people who used to dream many years ago when we were children, you know, we dreamt when we were children, we dreamt that we was going to be that that character in Disney. We dreamt we were going to be that princess or that gladiator. We were going to be something fantastic. We dreamt that the world was going to be a place that we really want. And then something happens to squash those dreams, you know, and people need to get those dreams back, that things can happen and we can make them happen. And that can happen through the new economic evolution of the world. Okay, next slide. So there's 3 pillars of new, very, very important, these pillars, okay. Everything hinges on the foundations of what you're building, and that is the education. And what slots into that education, which sits on top of it, is this co-ownership. So the education is what you're purchasing, and you're being gifted this co-ownership, and you're being taught how to develop yourself to see opportunities where you can also be a co-owner in lots and lots of different things, okay. And also the business side of it as well, how you can develop yourself to run a business within the new community, okay. So the 3 pillars are education, co-ownership and business, and they make up the new economic evolution of the world as well. Okay, next slide. This is our Presidential Council. We spoke about them before, and you know what is important, that all these people started off somewhere. Andre's our CEO, Mila, she's the chairperson of the Presidential Council. We've got Armand, we've got Havinda, you know, all these people, Andrew Hawks, Dragas, Petra, you know, all these people started off and were sat in front of somebody listening to a presentation at some point in time, okay. And these people help and head up the company along with Andre, so that Andre, you know, and all the Presidential Council help, and they hear our voice and they put things into practice. So if we can move on to the next slide. So what will your decision be? Okay, you've got a choice. Everybody has choices in life. We can either leave everything as it is, or you can start to learn. You can start to, like Mo explained, learn that financial and investment education. You can find a way to learn how to create multiple sources of passive income, not just for the now, but for the medium and the long term as well. And you can be part of a like-minded community, a community of people, because the greatest thing at all with this community is that you're never going to be on your own. Okay, there is always somebody there to help, guide, advise, educate you, and help you along the way. And the ability that you're going to create some assets, you know, something realistic, and that's something that you're going to learn about in the next set of the training as well, and an opportunity for you to leave a legacy through you. Okay, and again, that's very, very important. You know, when it comes to leaving things, I know my mum, I say this, I've said it the other week, my mum and dad, you know, they always said, oh, that when, you know, when something happens to me, this house is yours, you know. They wanted to leave something, and we all want to leave a legacy for our children and our grandchildren. Okay, thank you. So that's it. So thank you so much for listening. I do apologise for my absence, but I'm back. And we're going to go on to the next part of the presentation with Alina and Mo. I'm not quite sure who's starting off. Is Mo, are you doing the first part?
Yeah, things that I think Elena is back. So okay, so guys, look, please can you put a whole bunch of 8s in the chat for our speakers tonight, Gail and Elena. Okay, so stick a whole bunch of 8s in the chat, please. Thank you, thank you. And yeah, please keep coming back, because there'll be different speakers. We're trying to chop it up, basically. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. So yeah, we're trying to chop it up. So, you know, Tuesdays and Thursdays, hopefully we'll you know, you'll see different faces each time presenting different parts. We're going to get better as well, and keep coming back. And especially for this next part, please come back, keep coming back, because the more you come back, the more you'll learn and the more you'll take in. So actually, Elena is gonna start the 8 rules. So Elena, have you got the slides ready?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So Gail, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And yeah. So guys, in fact, you know what? Put a whole bunch of 10s like Richard just did for Gail. Thank you. Put a whole bunch of 10s. Thank you, Gail. Thank you. Okay. So Elena, back to you.
Great. My gratitude as well, Gail and Mo. Thank you. Guys, this is going to be another 1-hour session. While we are starting with a more introduction, what we're going to talk, maybe just go get a glass of water. Remember, keep yourself hydrated. Water is definitely a great health remedy for yourself. Get maybe coffee or dinner. Take also paper and pen. Maybe there will be the information which you never heard about. Of course, the rules and all the program what we're going to go through, it will be basic. And as we mentioned earlier, we have so much information available in the back office. When you do your registration, or you already perhaps registered under the education tab, either TNG, API or CIU, there are plenty materials, reading materials, video materials, incredibly well. As I was mentioning earlier, I'm learning still every single day. So me and Mo are gonna go through step by step all these information. So as well, we discussed why important is financial literacy. It's not anymore the case how much you have, but what you do with what you have, how you applying this education. And I always been thinking, you know, the more money you have, the richer you are, but it's not anymore true. It's more about how much assets you gain, how many passive income you are creating. And education is definitely one of the key points. Once you have the education, no one can take that back from you. you can use all these skills for the rest of your lifetime. And most importantly, teach your kids. If you are a parent, I'm already start giving good life lessons to my daughter, because I don't want to take the path what I've been taking through to my parents, because they always been struggling financially. My grandparents been always struggling financially, because I was taking from them what they learned. And all of us, we know the school system is broken, as Mo was mentioning. No one told us. So this is really important. Take it seriously. I mean it. I'm still young, but Gail, obviously, she's a bit more experienced. Even she, you know, as well, saying this is so important. Why we start going like this? Oh, okay, sorry. So why is so important? Because as Mo was earlier mentioning, we know Robert Kiyosaki talks about rich dad and poor dad. There's also 3 ways as well how being classified: poor class, middle class, and rich class. So usually poor class and middle class, they are lying only on one income stream, which can be from the business or from the salary. So they, in my personal opinion, and all from professional investors and from the books, this is the biggest risk what you can take. And as Gail was mentioning as well, and myself, people are losing this only one job. Or if you're involved in business or this one financial instrument, if you're losing this one, what is the next? And this is the missing puzzle. We want to show you and put in a plus if you want to have this portfolio. Not just having your salary from your job or from your business, but you created long-term, short-term, medium-term. There are many, many different investment tools which you can start, you know, using it. And this is where I want to be. Do you want to be in this side, rich class portfolio? And I count myself, even then I don't have millions yet, but I'm in this section because I'm slowly taking my own portfolio. I am applying all the education. I'm constantly looking new ways where I can invest, some pre-IPOs or some companies. I'm increasing my portfolio, and I will show you how you can do it. So 8 rules of private investor, definitely 8 rules private investor are definitely golden rules. Again, it's not only reading, but it's actually understanding. And took me actually good 1 or 1.5 years to understand these rules, because every time when I was going through, watching different webinars, watching different trainings, only then I understood. With one time is not going to make a sense, if that makes sense. So let's start with the first rule, and it's really actually important. These are in investment world, investment terminology, and I will go through 3 different terminology. So financial freedom, so difference between financial freedom, financial independent, what is assets and what is liabilities, what is investment and investing. All these words, loads of people are getting confused and they think this is similar. Usually when I'm talking to the people who are involved in different companies or traditional or untraditional, they are always claiming they want to become financially free. And I will go to that point afterwards. But first you need to understand what is financial independence. And I will explain to you. So imagine now, if you're receiving, let's say, salary or money from your business, X amount of money, but I will use for better guidance, let's say for 1,000 pounds or dollars a month. So let's say you need $1,000 a month to cover all your expenses. So basically you're paying the rent, you're paying food, you're paying travel, like different things. So you need $1,000 a month. Yeah, obviously in London it's impossible, but different countries it's possible. So you will be financially independent if you would calculate this amount of money, 1,000 times 12, this is for 1 year, and times 10 for 10 years. So if you would have at the moment in your bank account 120,000 in your bank account, you will be financially independent. So that's mean you don't have to work, you don't have to worry because you have this money in your bank account to live for next 10 years. So you are financially independent. But again, bear in your mind, usually there are unexpected expenses, or there's always happening inflation. This is what actually more was meaning, inflation. Every single year there's happening inflation. Things are getting more expensive. But if you have this amount of money, $120,000, you are financially independent. So what means financial freedom? And this is really interesting, what I'm going to tell you. Financially freedom is only achieved by having income from the current assets. So when the people who are doing the business, they're saying, I want to be financially free. But if they are only earning from the business, from your residual income, you cannot become financially free. So you have to create the assets where the money is working for you. This is where our rich class going, because they are investing money where they can create certain percentage every single year, starting from 8%, 12%, 30, 50%. So let's imagine if you would invest this money, what is in your bank account, in different instruments, which are going to give you 12% a year. That means 1% a month. So automatically you will generate passively extra 1,000. And if you're going to learn the next 8 rules private investor, what we're going to teach, and if you're going to use second rule, which is 5 commandments, 10%, you can constantly increasing this percentage. If that is that do you understand the difference now? Did I explain you properly? So financial independent and financial freedom. Financial freedom only achieved when you start creating assets, when money start working for you. Assets and liabilities. Do you think if you have a car, do you think your car is your asset or liability? Would be good if you put in a chat. So if you think your car is asset, put A. If you think your car is L, put L. Yeah, we have some people who already understand. Yes, Sissy, that's correct. If you have a car and you're using for your own use, like if you're driving to school or work or whatever, this is your liability. But if you start using your car where to create more money, it's your asset. Because the difference between assets and liabilities, asset where the money is come into your pocket, liability is coming out of your pocket. Hope that makes sense. So the more assets you have, the more and quicker you can become financially free. Great, thank you so much. More, did you, I'm still, oh yes, I'm going in first, yeah. So investment tools. So again, so I talk about financial freedom, financial independence, assets, liabilities, and now the third one, terminology, is investment and investing. So most likely lots of people think these are the same words. Well, sounds the same, right? But actually these words have completely different meaning. Investment means that you understand there are different 20 market segments, which I showed you in previous presentation, where our CIU program being created, like in education, Forex, cryptocurrencies, different pre-IPOs, insurance companies, trust management, gold, metal, in art. So these so investment is that you understand that there are different market segments in different investment trends where you can invest your money. This is your understanding. Investing, oh, I don't have a next slide. And investing means, Yeah, I don't know why I don't have. And investing means you understand that this money can grow year by year by percentage. Remember, I was showing you financial freedom. So for you to become financially free, you understand that money can grow year by year by the percentage. So let's say when you invest in certain companies, you know this money gonna grow in next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So you understand this. Hope that makes sense. Mo, this is your next topic, right? Or mine?
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Elena, thank you very much. So rule number 2 is the 5 commandments. Follow the 5 commandments of the private investor. So what are the 5 commandments of the private investor? Well, they're all written down for you right there. First of all, you have to save. Whoa there.
Oh, this was...
Oh. It's okay. So first of all, you have to save at least 10% of your income. So, you know, and we had a question last week. There was a gentleman who asked a question last week who said, what if I only have 800 euros a month? Where do I start? Right? And here's the thing, if you only have 800 euros a month, then that's pretty scarce anyway, right? So, you know, there's not really that much difference between 800 and 10% less, which is 720, right? So, you know, if you start saving that 10% and paying yourself first, and especially investing that into something that's going to produce golden eggs, like a golden goose that's going to produce golden eggs, or a golden egg that you can hatch into a golden goose, right, which is an asset, then actually that is how you start to build your investment wealth, okay? The second commandment is to control your expenses, okay? So we'll talk a little bit about that coming up, but we're not, whoa. I'll come on to it. So the next rule is the next commandment, sorry, is to control your expenses. Basically, you need to be spending less than you earn. It's pretty obvious, right? Put a O in the chat if you think that's obvious, that you really need to be spending less than you earn if you're going to build wealth. Put an O in the chat. Yeah, exactly. It's obviously an O, right? It's clearly, but okay, now put a D in the chat if you actually do that. Or put an N in the chat if you don't. Exactly, Jacqueline, right? That's my point, right? Yeah, put an N in the chat if you don't, right? Exactly, much easier said than done sometimes. But, you know, in this way, you've got to protect your money. And actually, you know, protecting your money is also basically always upping your knowledge about what's happening in the world and where the world is going. So for a very long time, I've been thinking about, well, yeah, at some point, because I've been talking about universal basic income for decades, right? So at least, you know, over a decade now that it's been in my awareness. And I thought, even I remember walking down Warren Street to one of my jobs probably in like, you know, 2006, 2007, about like how in the future, you don't want, you know, basically the rich people are going to be the people that own the robots, right? This is back in the time when I first started seeing McDonald's being automated, right? And I remember having this thought, yeah, okay, so basically I want to be in a position where I'm investing in robots, right? Unfortunately, through this company, you know, some awesome things are happening, right? You've already learned about that. So yeah, you want to protect your money. You want to learn how to invest wisely. Exactly. Always be upping your knowledge and always learn to earn more, because when you earn more, then actually your 10% at least becomes more and more. And actually when your expenses become like a fraction of the wealth that's coming in, then you're able to like really, you know, you could put in 50% or 70% into your investment portfolio, your golden eggs that are hatching golden geese. And these are the principles that we live by with our own portfolio within this company, which is why we've had so much success with our company portfolio in the past 5 years. And if you know the numbers, you know the numbers. Elena, next slide, please. Thank you. So, whoa, where are you going? No, I'm still doing all this. Yes. Okay. So investing. Oh.
Part of my. It's okay.
Oh, was that slide supposed to be there? Yeah.
Yeah, no, what happened? Yeah.
So, do you know what? Go to the next rule. Okay, fine. So, Elena, next rule, please.
No, let's skip here. Just this is part of rule 2.
Okay. Well, so look, so basically, if you're going to monitor your expenses, it's quite simple. And I actually did this since all throughout my 20s, because at one point, especially when I was being made redundant from my first job, and I wound up temping all throughout my 20s, which was a lot of fun. But I was earning a weekly income and I had monthly outgoings, and I needed to know how much money I needed it to have in my bank account at any one point, because, you know, in order to keep up with what was going out. So yeah, it was like, you know, I had like it was really an operating cash flow statement, it turns out is what it's called. Not that I knew it at the time. But here's the thing, really, really simply, what you can do is you can log all of your income, which in the top left section there, that it would be theoretically your income that's coming in from various different things. Maybe you've got salary, maybe you've got rent coming in from rental income, maybe you've got passive income from other businesses and investments. So you log how much income you're getting, and then in the bottom section you can see that you've got an expenses section. Okay, so with the expenses, you know, how much are you budgeting for your car per month? How much are you budgeting for your holiday per month, or business trips, or hygiene, etc., etc., rent, credit, clothes and food and whatnot. And then you can work out what you're actually spending, as well as what you're planning to spend, and you can monitor it, and then you can log where you're deviating from it and make adjustments. So and then the next section, which is on the right, is on each day of the month, you can log what you've spent on what. So, you know, again, this is easier said than done, but if you do it, it really reveals a lot about what you're spending money on. Gail asked who was on last week and started their income and expenditure spreadsheet, because Gail gave her homework. So did anyone do that? Put a Y in the chat if you did that. But okay, so next, Elena, why don't you go on to the next rule? Yeah,
hopefully you don't mind and stay on this little bit.
Oh, okay, sure.
No, I'm just wanna add something, because when you want to start becoming financially free, when you want to start being in the rich class side, you need to know where are you spending your money, because usually, and it's incredible statistics, usually people, normal everyday people, they're receiving 1, 2 or 3 incomes from the businesses, from the salary, but people have 15 or 20 different expenses. Imagine what is that result showing you. So how can you become financially free if you have all these expenses? And most of the people even don't know where they are spending the money. I remember myself when I was younger, like I didn't, like as soon as I received my money, I spend it all. I didn't even think about it. I didn't plan it. And this is how usually today people are living. They are living for today, most of the people. So this is really good in the, like the kind of starting point. You start seeing where are you spending your money. And trust me, if you would talk with the wealthy people, I'm not talking about this 1%, but I'm talking the people who really truly become themselves millionaires and billionaires. They are even now counting every single penny. They know where they are spending the money. So this is really important, and this obviously I used to use this slide. Personally, I'm using the app from the phone. It's really easier for me because I get tired to keep all the receipts, because sometimes but I'm using the app. I use special app every time. It's kind of habit when I go to the shop or evening in a day. I just remember and add in my app where I spend my money, and automatically it's calculated. It's really, really handy. Start looking where are you spending money. People are working hard for the money, but they don't know where they are spending. Financial plan. Of course, when you start thinking about, again, creating your financial success, financial independence, start creating different investment portfolios, you're on this path, you also need to create your financial plan. So wherever you are, start creating your portfolios, plan it. If it's going to be for the longer term, or it's going to be for medium, or for the short term. So as Mo was saying as well, when you start applying 5 commandments, one of the rules, save 30% and use only this money for investment every single day, and start planning where you want to, if you put particular this money, how long you're going to keep it. So let's say you're investing in Bitcoin. I will obviously go back to this in next rules, but if you are investing in a Bitcoin, like if you know where the Bitcoin is going to grow, so you're going to put for this term, or even for our CRU program, if you're planning and the CRU program will go for 1,000, if you're going to reach all the goals, it will be huge. So put CRU as a long term, because this is all about the knowledge, about all education. So plan your financial plan, or even plan it, after 5 years, you want to buy this house in Spain. This is my dream. And I also created my dream board, and all the prices and everything is up there. And I really like what Gail was saying about law attraction. Believe me or not, if you're following spiritual world, at the moment, at this time, whatever you put on your paper, in your mind, it quickly comes true. And all the people who today in this spiritual world, it's so true. So the wishes becoming faster and faster. So plan it. And also start studying. I done actually recording as well, but it's also part of your packages. Start learning 7 levels of investors as well. Well, these are 5, but understand which level investor you are and what the steps you need to take. So definitely this is one of also important rule, financial plan. Yeah, there was as well explanation. So financial plan, when you are, putting something towards for your future, and state by using current known variables to predict future cash flow. So what I was mentioning, and financial planning is ongoing process to help you make sensible decision about the money that can help you achieve your goals in your life. I've been always talking about live today, enjoy life today, but it's crazy if you're only living for today. You must think about the future, and more as well told about robotization and all these things, what's coming. So this is the important bit. So why do you need to do it? So basically, through this, you can create, passive incomes and accumulation for your children's education. I have a kid, and I'm sure you also have the kid. You want to have, not necessarily a school education, because what I know so far, I don't know if I want to give my daughter, or this is my personal opinion, but I want to send my daughter, she explore different, dancing or musicians, or I don't know, travel or get a private teacher. So I need to plan how much she needs this money for the future. I want to buy, as I was saying, a house in Spain. I want to buy a house in Latvia. And again, everything for me is planned. I put in a picture, I put on a paper, I plan it, and I see where I'm going to go. Again, don't live for today. Also, if you want to open your business, I know lots of people who are coming in our company, they also have the future plans. They want to open schools, special schools, or they want to open some sport, people can do boxing or different kind of things. And of course, it's for your pension. All of us, we know there is no pension left for the people, and you just read it and they are keep increasing pension age. And actually I was reading somewhere that there is not going to be any longer pension. You have to be independent or start thinking yourself. Important financial plan. No.
So rule 4 is diversification. So diversification is basically don't put all your eggs in one basket. So as you've noticed with our portfolio, as Elena mentioned earlier, we are investing, we've identified 20 segments that we want to get into, and we're constantly working towards balancing our portfolio within those sectors, and it's working really, really well. Again, without revealing to you the exact figures of where we started and where we're, and the fact, where we're at now. But basically, well, so it's already been revealed. We're over $400 million, and a lot of that is to do with the fact that we have 5 gold mines. I'll tell you, at the end of the year. So literally just this year alone, we quadrupled that to 400 million. So it was 100 million before the end of the year. But because of the coronavirus and and a lot of money went into gold, and we've got 5 gold mines. So, our portfolio just went up. So, and also, last month, because of I believe we opened like 2 sushi master restaurants last month. So whereas all of the businesses were shutting down, we were opening 2 sushi master restaurants. So look, gold, sushi, how much more diversified do you want to be, right? So we're in so many different sectors that are all very varied and relevant to where the world is going. So yeah, don't put all of your eggs in one basket, because you know what, it's wise. Okay, Elena, next slide. I think it's there you go.
Investment discipline, stick to the plan. Always observe investment discipline. So when I talk about investment planning, if you said to yourself, let's say, I'm going to use Bitcoin, sorry, it just comes in my head. So let's say you invested in the Bitcoin, and something happened to the market, there's some news, and then suddenly the Bitcoin start dropping, and you are going crazy and you start selling, right? But you know how the market playing. So if you plan to keep this Bitcoin for next 3 years, don't act it, keep it. So this is investment discipline. Also, investment discipline can apply. So let's say, as Mo was saying, you created your diversification. So you invested kind of, let's say, 10 different projects, 10 different projects, and one project starts suddenly giving you better return as you expected. And then you suddenly taking all your investments from different tools what you created, and you putting in that particular one. So stick to the plan. So that's why it's so important to have this financial plan and stick to this discipline. Is definitely discipline really important when you start be as an investor and start placing all your investments.
Okay, so rule number 6 is don't be greedy, because greediness leads to bankruptcy. Basically, this one's about managing your emotions, okay? So when things are going really, really well, in fact, exactly what Elena just said, when things are going really, really well, especially with like, you know, a particular asset class or something, then you might be tempted to take money from everywhere else in your portfolio and stick it into that one thing, and then the market turns and you can't get out, and then you just lose it all instead, and you've lost all your other assets and they've gone up in the meantime, right? So you know, so you've got to be really mindful of your emotions. But similarly, not only is it don't be overly greedy, but you also have to be not overly in fear of stepping into something. So it was said earlier about you need to take action first and then think about it. Okay, so get ready, fire, and then aim. Okay, because if you just like get ready and aim, and you know, still getting ready, you know, just shift the aim a little bit, just get ready, you just never actually take any action, right? Whereas if you just fire first immediately, just a tiny little amount, you know, I mean, and it's called risk, right? So you can take a little bit of risk, you can work out how much you want to risk on something, you know, that you could lose, right? And then you know, and be willing to lose it. So don't bet your house on it. You know, bet as much as you can afford to lose, and if it turns out to be really good, then actually, you know, so you get over your fear by planning, and you get over your fear, so you manage your emotions, so you actually get into investments. Okay, and then when they work out to be good, then you put more, you know that it's good because you've been educating yourself. Okay, next rule, please, Elena. Put a U in the chat if you understand, or put a Y in the chat if you understand. Let's put some Y's in the chat.
Also, not just, I could add greediness, but also laziness as well can lead to bankruptcy, which is obviously lazy, not to educating yourself or not to understanding, you know, these tools. The rule 7, it's education and self-development. When I started having difficulties in my life, my first book actually wasn't Robert Kiyosaki. My first book wasn't from Andrei Havratov. My first book was about self-development, because you cannot be rich, you cannot be wealthy, you cannot have a new car or new house with an old mindset. And this is the key of the success. And we know, hopefully you are watching different motivation videos or reading different books. Every single person, even Armand, Andre, everyone who you listen or outside of our company, they are self-developed. They know how to work with their mind. Even myself, I was talking with more another day. Well, we talk more almost every day. Even if I now feel bad, I always listening motivations. I always listening something positive. Definitely invest your time, invest your money to purchase some courses or purchase some books about self-development. There are so much information out there. We know as well, we are living uncertain time as well. It can be overwhelming, but if you are emotionally stable, and if you allow yourself to read all these materials, how you can increase your self-development, it definitely will help you in a big times. And of course, investment, education, never ever stop learning. And as I was mentioning before, once you stop learning, you stop living. For me, is the key point at the moment to educate and understanding the blockchain. You know that our company is going, you know, external market under the blockchain. Before, I thought blockchain is cryptocurrency, but actually it's not. It's actually huge technology. And once you're going to understand this technology in the future for this blockchain, you will see how actually our CEIU is big. So constantly educating yourself, constantly read some materials. As I mentioned earlier, also our back office are full of education materials, always increasing your EAPs, because into your EAPs, you're not only receiving CIU, you are receiving incredible education. Educate yourself, never stop learning.
And rule number 8 is always multiply your investment profit. So basically what that means is, as your investment portfolio grows and grows and grows, and hopefully it's providing you with passive income that's growing and growing and growing, always be investing and, well, basically compounding your gains. So, you know, you now have more income, so your 10% is now more. And then you get more income the next month, your 10% is now more, and you're always putting that into stuff that's going to grow and grow and grow. And then eventually your expenses become minuscule, because, as Elena pointed out earlier, rather than having more expense streams than you have income streams, you now have more income streams than you have expense streams, right? And of course, you know, when that happens, then you're just off like a shot. So always be multiplying your investment profit by creating different income streams and upping the amount that you invest. Okay, so guys, I think that brings us to the end of the 8 rules of the private investor, and we're about to move on to the next part, which is going to be about capitalization. And the 8 wonders of the world, obviously. So guys, you know what? Put a Y in the chat if you like this format of this presentation, or put a C in the chat if you think it could be better, and if it could be, like, you know, if we could adjust it even more. So, you know, we're trying new things. We like to try new things. And okay, lots of people are saying yes. I wonder if they would say anything else, you know. Okay, so Elena, why don't you take it away with the next part? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mo. Just, yeah, let's keep the energy up. Obviously, I sat down before I was standing up, so maybe need to move it. This is definitely amazing material what we are sharing with you, with all of you. And you're quite lucky, you know, have this information, and as our company is offering. So all of us, we know that there are 7 wonders of the world, but actually there are 8 wonders of the world, which is compounding, how the money can grow year by year. And I was extremely surprised when I have given this this homework, which I'm going to show you afterwards, when I was passing the master profit, when I was calculating if you would invest certain percentage in every month or every year, how in short of time a period actually I can gain this million. And I was so surprised. I wish my parents, you know, told me this when I was 18. Lots of people who are in their 50s or 60s, they are wishing. So please, it's really important to know that. So compounding percent against the accumulated. So compounding interest, this is addition of interest to the principal amount of the loan or deposit, or in other words, interest or interest. This is the result of reinvestment of interest and not their payment. So that interest in the next period is accurate on the principal amount plus previously accumulated interest. And cumulative interest is the sum of all interest payments on the loan for a certain period of the time for a depressible loan. Cumulative interest will increase with a decreasing rate, since each subsequent period payment of a loan represents a higher percentage of the principal amount of the loan and a smaller percentage of interest. And I will have later on slides. I will show you, so it's easier to understand. So this is what caught me interest: financial plan and compounding interest. And here you can clearly see, and there is taken only a minimum. If, let's say, person earns. Let's say person earns 500 euros a month. For some of the countries, this is good salary. For UK, it's really low. But let's say some of the countries, person earning 500 euros, $500, and you are using this 5 commandment, and you are, this would be on this one, yeah. 10%. So and you are every month putting aside 10%, this money, where money can grow. So after 1 year, when you are investing $50 every month for 10%, you are getting in 1 year 1,024 euros. And if you continue to do this for the next 5 years or even 8 years, look at that. After this time of the period, you nearly created from the compounding interest 2 millions. Is that powerful? Because this is your understanding. Obviously, loads of people usually asking where I can get this percentage. So I didn't talk about the percentage. So 8%, which gives you a month. So these 8% can be maybe not from one project or one instrument, but can be from different, where you are getting together. And I have actually one beautiful example. I have one of my partners from Latvia. So he joined our company 2 months ago, and he only enjoyed to have, ERPs, and obviously he was, aiming for CIU, but he started reading our materials from Academy Private Investor, and he was start applying it. And after 2 months, he wrote me testimonial, and after 1 month, he gained 4.7% of his initial investment, because he was searching, he was, finding different projects where actually money did grow. So that's why I want to go to the more topics about the rule. What he was saying about the greediness is also laziness, what also can take you to bankruptcy, because sometimes people are lazy to read it or understand. Here, and from also real testimonial, you can make the money if you're implementing all the skills what you learn. So what is capitalization? So capitalization comes from the word capital. Therefore, it would be useful to understand the meaning of the word capital. The term capital in the accounting literature means the equity of the company. Net worth means assets less liabilities. Economists use the term capital to mean all accumulated wealth used to produce additional wealth. Net worth is also called carrying value or share capital. And I will show you. So let's say, so it's easier to understand when you show in a picture. So let's say you starting every single day to put aside $1. Every single day, $1. So in 30 days, you would have $30. And if you do that continuously for 30 years, every single day, $1, you would have $10,000, 800. But let's say you would not just only put this money in a jar, but you would find where this money can also grow, and let's say 12% a year. So I just want to show you the difference. So if you would do just only putting money in a jar, obviously it did not grow. If you would put somewhere this money with 12%, the money, and which will be your capital income, will be 105 $105, no, $105,897. So this is your capital income together with your initial investment. Your capitalization is when you take off your initial investment of your capital income. This is your capitalization. This is money what you made. This is your capitalization. I hope that makes sense. I explain it because it's easier to understand in a picture. So your capitalization is taking off your initial investment. This is the money what you gain. It's extremely well, right? Are you taking over, or I'm?
Yeah, I can talk through this next bit. So basically the capitalization is the difference between the money that you make just from the appreciation of the asset and the actual capital value that you put in. Okay, what would be the difference in the savings between Mr. X on the left and Mr. Y on the right? Okay, so Mr. X on the left, he has basically since 1986 he saved $200, but he's done it over 30 years. Whereas Mr. Y, he has done 10 years less. So he started later, 10 years later, but he's been accumulating double the investment, but his savings have only been for 20 years. Who do you think has done better? Guys, put an X or a Y in the chat to say who you think has done better. X or Y. Who do you think? Don't reveal yet. Don't reveal yet. Not yet. Okay. Why? Really? You think Y's? You think Y's? That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. So Elena, why don't you go to the next slide and let's see. So we have two bars. We have two columns, and actually we've got two groupings: Mr. X on the left, Mr. Y on the right. So clearly you can see that over 30 years, with half the investment, those extra 10 years actually make a huge difference. So his actual deposit capital, Mr. X's deposit capital, was actually $72,000 over the 30 years. Okay, and look at what his savings are worth, right? And you can calculate the capitalization by doing 281,000 minus 72,000. Okay, which I think is 209, I think is what that is. And then if you look to the right, Mr. Y, Mr. Y put in $96,000 and has only made 227,000 by the end of it. So 227,000 minus 96,000, obviously it's less than what Mr. X has. So those extra years, even though it's half the amount, has actually paid massive dividends. So next slide. So the fundamentals of capitalization and the creation of capital income. So basically, the amount of the investment deductions so your investment amount over the, well, for Mr. X was 72,000, exactly what I've explained, right? And it's 209,000. Look, I can do mental maths. That's awesome. Is the capitalization. So, okay. So, and in fact, actually, I'm going to show you this as well, because I actually did this exercise, right? So if you were to basically do this exercise, if you want, it takes a long time and it makes your back hurt because it literally took me like it took me about 2 days to do these calculations. So what you can do if you want to, right, you can copy these headings into a spreadsheet and basically pretend that over a period of 30 years, I did 30 years, and if you pretend that you have $100 a month that you are going to be able to accrue, okay, $100 a month. So every month you put in $100 and pretend that you put it into an asset that is going to generate 1% per month, 2% per month, and 3% per month. Okay, and so in month 2, if we look at the first column, the first group, you've now got $201 because your $100 has gone up by 1%, plus you put in another $100, and so you've got $203. And then the next month you put in another $100, so now it starts with 303 plus 1%, right, per month, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then you see what you get. It's really nuts. You could do it in Excel, but here's the thing. Yeah, you're right, Richard, and that's exactly the way that I would have done it, right? It's exactly the way that I did it, actually, when I was doing my Master Propy. But there's a power in seeing the numbers grow when you do it actually by hand, and you actually tap it into a calculator. And because you're doing the operations in your in the calculator, and you're actually doing it manually, you ingrain a certain vibration, okay, is the theory. But anyway, who'd like to see what the results are after 30 years? Would you like to see the results after 30 years? Put a Y in the chat if you'd like to see the results after 30 years, because it is really, really mind-blowing, okay? Okay, we got some Ys, okay? Thank you, thank you. And guys, keep the energy up. We'll try and keep your energy up as well. But okay, if you'd like to take a guess, right, after 30 years, do you think that the 1%, this first grouping, do you think that will have cleared $1 million? Do you think it would have not cleared $1 million? Where do you think that would be? Just a guess. And don't quickly do a spreadsheet. Just have a guess. What amount do you think it gets to? Okay, you think cleared $1 million, Jacqueline. Anyone else? It will. Okay, presumably it will clear $1 million. Richard says no. Okay, well, guys, you know what? Surprisingly, actually, it doesn't. It only gets to like barely $1/3 of $1 million. $1/3 of $1 million, right? But how about if you put it in something at 2%? Do you think it would go to over $1 million, or do you think it would go to over $1 billion? I don't know. What do you think? Well, you say it's a shame, Jacqueline, but what do you think about 2%? Let's say it was 2%, the second grouping instead, right? So you're saving $100 a month, right? Do you know what, Sydney? Yes, really. I spent 2 days calculating it by myself, right? It was crazy. It hurt my back, right? So yeah, of course it'll be more than the 2%, but do you think it'll be over $1 million? Yes or no? Right? At 2%. So you save $100 a month every month, plus it goes up by 2% what you're saving. You think no? Okay. Well, actually, so it gets to 6.5 million. It's less than 10 million, right? But it gets to 6.5 million. So look at that massive difference. You've got $1/3 of $1 million if it was 1% that you were accumulating. But just that one extra 1% at 2%, it's 6.5 million. Okay, huge difference. But guess what it is? This is amazing when you get to the 3%, the final grouping, right? Do you know what? I'm gonna give you a clue. It's over 10 million. Okay, it's over 10 million at the end of 30 years. Okay, well, it's every month over 30 years, so that's like it's like 360 months, right? It's a big difference, right? So what do you think it is after the end of 30 years at 3% per month? Anyone? Where do you think? Just take a guess. Elena, you should be guessing as well. What do you think?
96 million.
Okay, anyone else? We got 96 from Elena. Type it in the chat as well, Elena. Yeah, plus 15 million. Okay. Well, do you know what? You're all right. You're all right. Even Jacqueline is right. Okay, it's actually it's almost 150 million, right? It's really crazy, and it's a really, really crazy exercise to do if you bother to do it. So guys, okay, so I'll pass you back to Elena for the next bit, whatever that is. Okay. Oh, you're muted, Elena.
Oh, yeah. This was incredible. Obviously, I done it both ways as well, on a spreadsheet, and I done also like Mo done it. We was doing till 3 o'clock in the morning. But this is just showing you that how money can grow. I also gave my brother exercise, actually research different companies, 10 different companies, and making kind of depot account kind of manually, and kind of guessing if he would invest 10 years ago into these companies, specific amount of money, and what he would getting today. If that makes sense. Yeah, you understand. So my brother was surprised if he would invest 10 years ago in different companies, how his portfolio would look like and how his financial, situation would be improved. So it's really important. So all these 8 rules of private investor, you see how they are playing a part. So everything is important, how you can use it. Discipline, financial, literacy, all these things are really important. With that, of course, I want to say massive thank you to Mo for taking together this presentation and training. Massive thank you to Gail. And of course, massive thank you to all of you who've been listening. And congratulations to all of you. When you are taking this path and you are, using these 2 hours to be with us, learn something new. And just obviously question is to all of you, what you are ready to start doing, to live your dream life in next 3 months, in next 6 months, or next year, what the steps you want to take. Remember, and I remember how I was saying, my daughter, she was crying, she was acting in a school, in academy, acting school, and she was crying that, she's not good enough. And I was teaching her, you have to take step by step, and I was showing her these steps, the stairs. And obviously you cannot be on the top of the game, on top, you achieve all your financial success, everything in a day one. There's always the first step. So you already can start living, and trust me, your dream life already today. And start dreaming. And yeah, someone asked me to show my dream board. And I increasing always, and I'm thinking, start already dreaming, start already planning, dream big, don't scare from your dreams. Trust me, things will come to you eventually. Once you're gonna make this decision, once you're gonna put on a paper everything what you want to do, trust me, if you believe God or if you believe universe, I don't know, it's your belief, but the things start gonna come to you. Everything, people gonna come to you. All the education is gonna come to you. Companies, opportunities. It's so true. Anabi's going through. Keep yourself in positive level. And I have to mention again, the current situation is just crazy thing. And I was giving yesterday live talk. It's of course really challenging, we can cry, we can, we have all these things daily basis, but if you keep your energy level up, if you have something to looking forward, trust me, you will be on top of the game. You will live in better world. You vibrating better, if you know what means spiritual world and vibration and frequencies. But everything is in your hand. We are giving you amazing tools. We are. It's all down to you, where you want to go, how you want to see your life. We are here to help. And this helped me a lot in the big times. As I was saying, I also struggling sometimes because this lockdown, there's restrictions, and I tell more all these things. But hey, I have people around me. Oh, I have this company, and I'm keeping myself up. I have my goals. I have my dreams. I don't want to stay where I am today. So I wish all of you start thinking dreams, start be positive. Don't listen media, like trust me, don't listen media. They are there for you to make you fear and, be in low vibration. Keep yourself up, keep you know, communicating with positive people, and everything is in your hands. So I wish all of you, and most importantly, use word love, because love is incredible word. It can give you, you know, all this creativity. It can give you all good vibrations. So just keep loving and, you know, love your life. Thank you so much. Mo, do you have something to finish?
Thank you so much, Elena. Thank you. And guys, put do you know what? Celebrate. You made it to the end. If you're still here, stick a whole bunch of 8s in the chat to celebrate. Just congratulate yourselves for making it to the end. And Elena, thank you so much for your tuition, for your wisdom, for everything you've learned, and for instilling that in us. And thank you to Gail for starting us off. And sorry we missed you for a bit, but we figured it out, so it's all good. And yeah, guys, well done for being here to the end. So come back next Tuesday. Also come back on Thursday. We run this presentation every week, 7 p.m. Every Tuesday and every Thursday. And also, you know, there's a training. There's this training on a Tuesday, and there's the multi-level crowd investing business part of it on the Thursday. Hi, Magda, nice to see you. Yeah, so just keep coming back. You know, maybe it doesn't make sense now. Maybe we'll get, you know, more smoother at the presentation. I mean, we'll make tweaks and all that kind of stuff, right? And it all gets better as we go along, and you understand more. And actually, you know what? Even better than that, maybe like you just build up more and more confidence, because there's certain knowledge that is going to make you rich, that is going to make you financially free, such that you never really have to think about money again, right? And where it's going to come from. And that stuff you don't really tend to get from school, or from university in my experience, or from, you know, within my job, right? So, you know, I can get a job earning 80k even in this current climate if I wanted. I'm a data guy, you know, who programs, who, you know, who, right, you know, but even I don't want to do that. Okay. So yeah, guys, I hope that's been powerful. Please come back. And guys, thank you very much. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Magda. Thank you, Jacqueline. And see you all later. Thank you very much. Bye bye.